Yo, what's up guys? It's Lun-Gi here. So today I'll be bringing you some armored Phantom Knight deck profiles. So basically it's a Phantom Knight deck featuring the new Armor XYZ cards from Age of Overlord, which just came out in the OCG. So essentially the cards you use in the engine are Full Armored XYZ, which allows you to XYZ summon during your opponent's turn. Armored XYZ, which came out in Animation Chronicles, which allows you to target any monster you control and an XYZ monster in your graveyard, and then you can equip the XYZ monster to the monster that you targeted, and then it gains a number of effects. And then in the extra deck you have your XYZ monsters. You get your armored XYZ torpedo. He can't attack unless he has material. He detach 2 to draw 1 card, pretty decent. And then if he's equipped, if the equipped monster battles, your opponent can't activate cards or effects, and then all face-up monsters they control are negated after that. And then the other effect is, if the equipped monster is an XYZ monster, your opponent cannot target that monster with card effects. So it basically buffs up whatever monster it's equipped to. Very nice. And then you have your searcher XYZ Armor Fortress. Detach 2 materials, up to 2 materials, and then you can search for that many armored XYZ cards. And he can't be used as XYZ material if he has material, so there's no making a huge Zeus by stacking over him. And then if he's equipped to a monster, it doubles all battle damage that monster inflicts to your opponent when that monster battles a monster. And then you have your big boss monster, Full Armored Dark Lancer. So you can XYZ summon him using a rank 5 or 6 XYZ monster you control, and then he gains 300 attack for each material and card equipped to it. So you can get pretty big just with that effect. So once per turn you can target 1 XYZ card in your graveyard and add it to your hand, so some nice recovery. You mostly just be returning this card to your hand because it's the only only useful target. And then its other effect is, if an equipped card is equipped to a monster you control, you can attach 1 monster your opponent controls to it as material. So I think that's maybe the second best removal behind non-targeting face down banishing, because your opponent can't get the monster's effects and basically can't even revive the monster or even like shuffle it back until they get rid of Full Armored Dark Lancer. So that's some really powerful removal right there. So this version uses the Horus cards, just 2 of them, because the level 8s can be bricks, so only 1 brick this guy. And then you use them to basically make zombie vampire for the milling, and or number 90 Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. So yeah, so I just want to show you some quick combos with them, just using a random hand. So we'll just do a random hand quickly. Okay, so this is a random hand, a pretty good random hand, I think. You drew your Full Armored XYZ card, which is not too great. You really want it in the deck so that you can search for it. So over here, alright, so we'll just activate this and then get an extender. If they draw in Lockbird here, it's still fine. You still have a full combo. Okay, so we'll special summon this just to showcase how strong the deck is. We're gonna do this, and then we're just gonna Veiler him, but it doesn't matter. Right, so now we make Cherubini. Right, Cherubini, and then we'll start with Cherubini's effect. So we use a small BA engine in here, so we'll dump Graph, and then we will use Graph to summon Sir from the deck, and then we will leave them exactly like that. So now we can activate Boots, and then we will add Fogblade to the hand, since we already used our discard effect. Right, so we'll revive Torn Scales, check the graveyard. Right, so now we will make Dante. So one thing that makes this deck really strong is you can really abuse Dante, because you can keep on equipping Dante and then triggering his effect to add back a BA from your graveyard. So allows you to easily, you know, recycle your burning abyss monsters and then maintain hand advantage. All right, so over here we want to do this. We want to stack into this guy. His other target's in the graveyard, so it's not too great. All right, so detach Dante. So we'll add this to the hand, and then we will use Dante's effects to add Sir back to our hand. All right, so over here we have one summon. So we haven't used his effects. Yeah, let's just use his effect. So yeah, we can just add Ragged Gloves to the hand, and then now we can use MST's effect, and then we can search for Sarcophagus. We get a draw. Okay, we draw Wing, which is not great, but it's fine. And then we'll activate Fogblade. We'll just revive him. Then we will make Dante again. So we want to do this. Equip Dante to Dante, because that'll allow you to add back your Burning Abyss monsters. So we'll just mill 3, see what we get. Okay, so no trigger effects this time. So now we will make Beatrice. So we'll just use Sir, and then we will trigger Dante's effect to add the Sir back to the hand. Alright, so we have one graveyard effect. So we'll just do this, activate its effect, and then we'll discard Wing. We'll send Happy to the graveyard. So at this point, yeah, at this point we can just use Wing, revive this. So we revive him. It doesn't matter if he gets banished. Rusty Bardici. Okay, so it looks like we don't have any targets left in the graveyard, in the deck. So we don't have any targets left in the deck, but it's all good. So now we will special summon our Horus boys. Since we don't need to mill, we will just make Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord for a monster negate. And then since this is in the graveyard, we will just overlay for full armored XYZ. We'll just overlay for him and then use his effect to return this to the hand. Then we'll set the Fogblade, and then we will end our turn. So not really optimal with the cards that we drew and sent to the graveyard, but we can quick equip from the graveyard using full armored XYZ. So that's one disruption, and then we have Fogblade, the drawn effect failure, and then we have Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. So we do have 3 interruptions, and then we do have recovery in Fogblade in the graveyard. We have a Dante underneath here who can return our cards, and then we have Seer in the hand, and we have this face up. So still a decent hand. So yeah, so not too bad overall, but we would have loved to have our Beatrice face up on the field. So this is the Horus version, and then we have just a regular version with just like rank 3 turbo. So we'll check out the rank 3 turbo version of the deck. Again, just a random hand. Okay, so this hand is really loaded. Okay, so twin scales, discard cloak, and then we will dump wing to the graveyard. Cloak's effect. So we will add this one. He's basically a free extender. So we can just summon him now. No big deal. Then we'll make Cherubini. Cherubini's effect. We hard drew the Sir. So what we will do is we can just summon a Farfa from the deck, because we do need the level 3 bodies. So we will make Dante. We really don't want to mill the Armored XYZ card, so what we'll do is we'll just detach, and then we will just send one card to the graveyard. It's fine. And then we will stack over, and then we will search. So we'll search for one each. Okay, so now we can actually trigger our Dante, and then we can just add Graph back. Doesn't matter so much. Add Graph back to our hand, and then we will activate Armored XYZ, target the Dante, and then we will summon Full Armored Lancer, Dark Lancer, activate Dante's effect, add back the Farfa, then we'll use Full Armored Dark Lancer to return our Armored XYZ card to our hand. So we have 6 cards in hand, and we still haven't used Sir's effect yet. So we can actually just summon him as an extender, because I don't think we need to revive. Yeah, I don't think we need to revive. So activate wing, target this guy, summon him, Torn Scales effect, summon Torn Scales, and then we will make another Dante. So we'll detach Dante, and then we will send 3 to the graveyard. Right. So at this point, wait, you don't have any Burning Abyss monsters in the graveyard, so we'll just do this. Summon Sir, and then we'll go for Rusty's effect. Send gloves, set a Fog Blade. Now we can do this. Target Dante, equip the other Dante. We're doing this just so we can trigger its effects, and then we can add back the Sir. We can put Beatrice here, and then add back the Sir. Okay. So we haven't used this effect yet, so we'll just add this to the hand. Okay, we have, right, so we've got access to 3 Fog Blades, and then now we can simply set our cards, and then we can end our turn. Alright, so we can end our turn. So we've got 3 negates in the 3 Fog Blades, and then we've got Beatrice. We don't have Farf in the deck anymore, but we do have Graveyard Disruption in Mudora, so we can dump Mudora, or we can dump the other full Armored XYZ card. So we'll just play against ourselves here, just to check out what kind of combos we can actually do here. Alright, so almost some torn scales. That's fine. Torn scales effect. Discard this. Send something to the graveyard. Send this to the graveyard. So just Beatrice effect. Chain. Okay. Chain this. Okay, chain this. So now we can use Beatrice as Xyz material. Right, so they summon this to the field, summon Heaviness, and then send card to the graveyard. And then what we'll do is we will send, we'll just send Medora to the graveyard. Dante's effects, add something back, and then we will activate for Armored XYZ. We'll just equip something. So what's going to happen here is we'll equip Dante, and then both effects will trigger. Alright, so essentially get rid of 2 materials. We can just do this, add something to the hand. So essentially there's no more place for them except for maybe this guy. Stellar Nemesis effect. That's a no. It's a no from us. Right, so that's it. So turn end, any effects, nothing we want to activate. Okay, so it's our turn. So Stick can easily OTK. Okay, cool. Just add this back. Alright, so we don't really have space. We don't really have space. Yeah, we don't have space. Okay, so we've got torn scales in the graveyard. That's good. Alright. We can just dump anything. Scale summons himself back. And then we can just normal summon this guy. So we can summon Break Sword, Rusty's effect, destroy Stellar Nemesis. Now we can do this. Equip to Break Sword, Dante. Okay, now this is game. Attack 4000, flick. Trick its effect, return this. Attack for 2000, attack for 21, then attack for 37. Alright, so that is GG. So that is the basic deck. It's a very nice deck, very resilient. I won an OCG tournament with a 60 card version of it almost 2 weeks ago. So definitely very, very strong. You don't need to play 2 copies of this card. It's kind of good because it allows you to actually resolve this effect if you draw the 1, if you mill the 1. But it's not a big deal, so you can just cut this to like a single copy and then add like another extender Yeah, so basic Phantom Knight list, just adding a few more cards. Havness is nice. Basically, during your opponent's turn, it allows you to send some cards to the graveyard, which can actually help, you know, jumpstart your effects. And you might accidentally hit like a Farfer or something, and then you can actually remove one of your opponent's cards. It's very rare, but when it happens, it is very, very nice. So that's it for the duels. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.